It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Bears and the Silver and Black. And it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
And off we go from Las Vegas. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL. Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That good for 19 and a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only the controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense, hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
From the 50, it's Smith. Open man is Myers. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
So after several rushes to start the game, Charles, they go to the air there and get a nice completion.
Nice mix-up on the play calling, right? Establish the running game, make the defense think you're going to do it again, and then hit them over the top. Now you've got them betwixt and between. They don't know which way you're going to come at them.
Out of the gun, Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Play action. It's Smith. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively at 2nd down.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Geno now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. Is able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Now a handoff running through the middle. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This opening drive has taken him to the 2, but now they come up on a 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They wanted to throw for it. A surprise does not work on 4th and goal from the 1. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. So here are the Bears backed up to start their initial drive. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the latest in a long line of NFL QBs from USC.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
2nd and 9. To throw, it's Williams. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Here's Williams. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here comes the Bears punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Hands it off out of the gun. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41. Here's 3rd and 6.
Smith now to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game.
And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and out. And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Back to throw.
Williams. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
Now it's Smith off the bootleg. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Now Geno. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Montez Sweat with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. On the ground, it's Swift to start.
And he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They've got the ball in a great spot here, already inside the red zone following that fumble recovery. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On play action, here's Williams.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No score after one on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. 2nd and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. Right back to Swift again on second down. They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago.
We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here's 2nd and 3. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Looking to throw. Williams. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Smith. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Now Smith. And his throw is incomplete. Jacoby Myers, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down and 2. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Second down, here's Mostert again.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Tyreek Stevenson picks it off. And the Bears will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45.
Looking to throw is Williams.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. To throw, Williams.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Timing is everything.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 3.
They'll fake the give. Now Williams. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, their first two drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
The Bears on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Once again, it's Swift. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
That's a nice run to get himself back on the horse after his fumble. Nothing spectacular, but a good confidence-building run.
2nd down and 4. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. Here's Swift. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
They'll look to throw for it with Williams. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Rome Odunze from 4 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Raiders offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To the air, Williams. Able to find the open man. That's complete. They'll have the first down and more than that. Touchdown, Chicago! Rome Odunze. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bears had 6 to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Now the point after try for Santos. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Incomplete.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Smith. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked picked off by Jalen Johnson.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. Throwing is Williams. And the Raiders have got him. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Back to throw. Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Complete to Zacchaeus. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
They'll go. Here's Williams. And this is caught. He hits more. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. Santos' kick is up and through, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The final shot here before break. Smith. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far. But there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Third quarter starts with a run from Swift. 55 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Right back to Swift again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. A 40-yard punt, no return, and they will take over 1st and 10. Play action. It's Smith. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Looking to throw. Williams looking for the out route, and he's got more. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. Buying time to his left. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Caleb Williams taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bears are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie quarterback's going to tuck it and run on a scramble, we kind of hold our breath. Well, that was a maybe no, yes, as he's able to get into the end zone.
Are you saying he's got to learn where the line is about whether you keep your eyes downfield and try and find a receiver, or you tuck it and go? And I think there's going to be some growing pains with that. I think in this case, he made the right decision.
And we know he's got the speed. He showed it there. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Raiders offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
That one complete to Trey Tucker. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
From the gun on third down, Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful. And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Geno now to throw. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 30. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
A shotgun snap for Smith. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
Open man right side, Myers. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Smith throwing again.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Williams. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They run out of the gun with Swift. Loose inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. 119 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Swift is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Bears! From 3 yards out. And the Bears have opened the lead up to 30. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Las Vegas's offense back out there ready to go. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Here's a quick throw caught out wide. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
This is 2nd and 8. Throwing is Smith. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Jalen Johnson up to make the tackle.
Only 4 yards on that gain, but, you know, a lot of people would say that's like getting 9 in normal circumstances since this was 1st and 5.
Yeah, now your playbook's wide open here, 2nd and very short.
Yeah, I still don't think that you can count it in the stats that way at contract time.
No, it still goes down as 4, not 9. Smith now to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Dio Dangbo there to make the play defensively.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
They work now on 2nd and 9. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
3rd and 5. The slot man in motion right. Out of the gun, Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Now Gino. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And the lead is down to 24. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Bears offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Here's a 2nd and 5. On the handoff, this is Swift.
And he's going to be close to a 1st down as he gets this to the Raiders' 38. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will have the Bears first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Now, that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. From the gun, here's Swift. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Going quickly out wide to Moore. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
All right, partner, I wasn't good enough to get this done, but I played with plenty of guys who did. When they spotted wide receiver screen and they got to the football fast and blew the whole thing up, the same result as we just saw usually happened. No gain.
They'll go play action here with Williams. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Back to the running game with Swift. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Looking to throw is Williams. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. They hand off to their big tight end. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Raiders hang tough down near the goal line. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Kevin Byard up to make the tackle.
Well, both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave him some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed them off with that run.
Well, that'll get them to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
From the gun, here's Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Short throw caught by Bowers. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here now a 3rd down and 8. Here's Smith. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Smith. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
The Bears now ready to take over again. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run right here with Swift. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Running is Swift. Max Crosby, the one who got in there for the stop. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll run here with Swift. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
To the air, Williams. That is caught. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory.
They'll look to throw for it with Williams.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Now the point after try for Santos. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Flush to his right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Now Smith.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Bears take over.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Here's Swift. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.
With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.